Oh, well, hello, friends. I'm so sorry I'm late. Hello. We're just going to chit chat for a few. Thank you so much to everybody who's here. I know there's a lot of you in chat. I'm going to come and say hi to everyone in chat in just a few. You get to listen to me in the background. I just didn't want to leave you all hanging. Um, I've been sick. I'm making soup currently. But I'm still going to chit chat while I'm making soup. Tonight should be fun. There's quite a few things I want to discuss. And hopefully we will, find it interesting and informative and for funsies, right? Let me know how my sound is. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Hello, Twiz. Hello, Shannon. Hello, Mark and Betty, Leslie and Billy, Eddie, Claire Bear, Steve. Who am I missing? Ro, Batshit Crazy. Hello, Wade Bird. Hello, Yvonne. Trying to get up, Taylor. Mr. Sentinel, always good to see you. Who am I missing? Gina. If there's anybody I missed, I'm so sorry. Dinky, hi, how you doing? All right. I tried to get to the top, say hi to everyone as quickly as I could. Hope everybody's having an awesome night. Okay, my sound is good. AR, how you doing? Thanks for being here. We are going to kick this off in a few. I just have a couple more things to add into my soup. And then, okay, we're going to get into it. Danger. Hello, Meanie. Hello, Angel D. Hello, Amethyst. Hello, RB. Keep it rolling. All right. Yeah, we're going to kick this shit off in just a minute. You have to listen to me make soup, though, for about 3.5 minutes while I chit chat. Um, so I was, as I do when I am sick and when I am home. Oh, sorry, that's my phone. As I do when I'm sick and I'm home, I read and look up things and, stuff like that. So, I wanted to maybe have a little chit chat because I noticed that I had heard quite a few different people saying that the Brady, I think it was even Jules at first, maybe, who said that Brady, original Brady filing was no longer on the Cases of Interest website. And I went and looked and I didn't see it. However, I did find it. And where it was through Amazon Web Services. So for anybody who isn't aware, there are a lot of documents that are not on the Cases of Interest website, but you can find them through Amazon Web Services. So I did find the original Brady disclosure. I know originally in the beginning, a lot of people thought it was, Gunderson and Stickergate and all of that. And I'm going to share with you why I don't think that's what it's for. And the reason I don't think that's what it's for is because of how it was disclosed and by whom. So we'll get into that. Basically, everybody's going to get a nice little data dump of my brain and all of my tinfoil hat conspiracy theory, no facts here. I don't know shit thoughts. Sound like fun? Sound like funsies? Hopefully, everybody's cool with that. You're basically just going to get a data dump of all the things that have been sitting in my brain for the last, I don't know, week or so since we went live last. Sorry, friends. I'm literally trying to find my tomato paste because I know I put it somewhere and I need it for my soup. So, un momento, por favor. Where the fuck is it? Just bought a brand new tube of it. What did I do with it? Aha. All right. 2 more minutes. So yeah, I'm making a lovely, delicious Italian veggie soup for anyone who's interested. I've been sick and that's all I've wanted. It's soup, and more soup. So I have zucchini. I have squash, carrots, onions, peas, a little bit of tomato paste, some beef bone broth, garlic. What else do I got in here? Yeah, that might be about it. Oh, and peppers. And I put peppers in here too. So, there you go. Free little recipe for anybody who was paying attention. Now you can make some soup. But yeah, hopefully everybody's been having a good week and taking care of themselves. I've been trying to. I've also been very, very busy though, and working and cleaning and laundry and, life. So, all right, let's get this going. Almost done. Hopefully no one cares. And you're just chatting amongst yourselves anyway until I come back and see you. Let's get that going. Oh, I cannot wait to eat this soup. It's going to be so yummy. I hope Bitsy's in chat now. For fuck's sake, Bitsyana. I hope she's there when I get back to the computer. Hopefully lots more people. I'm hoping people clicked in and then immediately when they heard me making soup, they were like, oh God, I'm out of here. I wonder how many people did that. Clicked in and they were like, oh wait, she ain't even talking Idaho4. She's just talking about soup and shit. I'm out of here. Probably quite a few people who did that. All right, there we go. There we go. That's that, and that is that. Dunsies. All right. Hello. Okay, now I'm back. I'm officially back in front of the computer. All right. Yeah. All right, let me get over here. Let's see. Yeah, now you want soup, huh, Yvonne? Yeah. All right. Hi, Jackie. How are you? Thanks for being here. Sharon, hi. How you doing? Hopefully, if there's anybody I missed, I'm so very, very sorry. So here is, I understand, yes, I'm fully aware that the disclosures were unsealed or whatever the hell they did. They Hitler decided things were going to be unsealed. Great. Bravo. Perfection. What I want to talk about, though, is something different. So first thing I want to do here, I'm going to present, I'm going to share screen here with you, friends, and look at something real quick. Okay, so here we have the original Brady disclosure. Looks like it was filed. Oh, wait, let me make sure everybody can see that first, actually. No, you can't. What am I doing wrong here? No, it says it's sharing. What's it doing? Here we go. Okay. Get me out of there. There we go. Let's get over here. I'll try and make this as big as I can for everybody without blowing out my own screen. You can see over here on the right, it was filed March 27th, 2023. Comes now the state of Idaho by and through the Latah County Prosecuting Attorney's Office and respectfully gives notice to the court and council that the state has become aware of potential Brady Giglio material related to one of the officers involved in the above referenced case. That material, in the form of a confidential internal affairs investigation, is hereby submitted in camera to the court. The state intends to disclose this information to the defendant's counsel, but because this information is confidential and exempt from public disclosure pursuant to Idaho Code 74-1061 personnel records, The state respectfully prays for the issuance of a protective order pursuant to Idaho Criminal Rule 16.1, prohibiting defense counsel from disseminating the information contained in the internal affairs investigation, absent further order of the court. Respectfully submitted the 24th of March. So now the reason that I wanted everyone to see this is because this potential Brady material related to one of the officers involved in the case came by way of a confidential internal affairs investigation, and it was submitted in camera to the court. Now, the reason that's important is for what I'm going to share with you next. Hi, Amy Conway. How's everybody doing, Mish Girl? If there's anybody just joining chat and I missed you, I'm sorry. Hello. Thank you for being here. Now I'm going to share this. Get over here. Make sure this is up there for you. Okay. So I did like a basic cursory search, right? I'll share screen with you. The overview I got from Google. I understand it's just an AI overview, but we're going to read through it just in case. It says, quote, a Brady disclosure from an internal affairs department refers to the mandatory disclosure of any information within a police officer's personnel file that could potentially be considered exculpatory, favorable to the defendant, or impeaching, damaging to the officer's credibility. To the defense in a criminal case, which must be provided to the prosecutor by the police department under legal precedent set by the case Brady v. Maryland. What it includes. This could encompass details like past disciplinary actions, findings of dishonesty, allegations of excessive force, or any other information that could cast doubt on an officer's truthfulness when testifying in court. The Brady rule mandates that prosecutors must disclose any exculpatory evidence to the defense, including information that could impeach the credibility of a key witness like a police officer. The Internal Affairs Department within a police agency is typically responsible for reviewing an officer's file and notifying the prosecutor if any Brady relevant information is found. Example scenarios where a Brady disclosure might be required. A police officer has previously been disciplined for making false statements in a report. An officer is under investigation for potential misconduct related to use of force incident. Officer has a history of complaints regarding biased or discriminatory behavior. Stop sharing that for a minute, actually, while we're here. Where was the other thing I saw? Because I thought it was very important to differentiate between when Brady material is handed over from internal affairs rather than a different route. So when your Brady material is handed over by internal affairs, that's a different scenario there. Internal affairs is usually, they are already investigating an officer on the department, in the department. Do you get what I'm saying? So I'm going to stop sharing that for a minute, come back over to chat. So hopefully everybody understands. I could find a few more examples, which if you want me to do, I'll do. But I hope everybody understands the difference between normal Brady disclosure and then when your Brady material stems from an internal affairs investigation, which the state themselves disclosed in their filing. The material came in the form of a confidential internal affairs investigation. And it even states in here, too, that it has to do with personnel records. Yeah. The state intends to disclose this information to defendant's counsel, but because this information is confidential and exempt from public disclosure pursuant to Idaho Code 74-1061, personnel records. So let's go do this real quick. Idaho Code 74-1061. Copy, paste, share. Da, 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 da. Go find this. I'll share it with everyone. 74-1, correct? Transparent and ethical government. So let's share. And we'll learn together. Moonvale, hi, how you doing? Salty Grace, hi, just happened to see you up there. Sorry, I'm in another window, friends. So let's make sure I can share this. Hopefully everybody can see this. Try and make it a little bigger. Oh, I can't. Okay, so it is what it is. So we have Title 74, Transparent and Ethical Government, Chapter 1, Public Records Act. 74-106, records exempt from disclosure, personnel records, personal information, health records, professional discipline. Interesting. So they don't have to share professional discipline. Those records would be exempt from public disclosure. I disagree with that. If an officer has to be professionally disciplined, right, the public should be keenly aware of that when it happens, and that should not be hidden. Anyways, this is their rule. The following records are exempt from disclosure. 1, except as provided in this subsection, all personnel records of a current or former public official, other than the public official's public service or employment history, classification, pay grade and step, longevity, gross salary, and salary history, including bonuses, severance packages, other compensation, or vouchered and unvouchered expenses for which reimbursement was paid, status, workplace and employing agency, all other personnel information relating to a public employee or applicant, including but not limited to information regarding sex, race, marital status, birth date, home address and telephone number, social security number, driver's license number, applications, testing, scoring materials, grievances, correspondence, and performance evaluations shall not be disclosed to the public without the employee's or applicant's written consent. Names of applicants to classified or merit system positions shall not be disclosed to the public without the applicant's written consent. Disclosure of names as part of a background check is permitted. Names of the 5 final applicants to all other positions shall be available to the public. If such group is less than 5 finalists, then the entire list of applicants shall be available to the public. A public official or authorized representative may inspect and copy his personnel records, except for material used to screen and test for employment. So now they cited 74-1061, personnel records, right? This is according to Bill and the state, their reason that even though the state intends to disclose the information to defendant's counsel, the information is confidential and exempt from disclosure because it's personnel records. So they submitted it in camera. Now, what personnel records of what I just read here, right, would fall under Brady? It's my question. Because nothing I just read here would fall under Brady other than professional discipline, right? Just asking questions. I literally don't know shit. That's why I'm sharing with everyone and wanted to get everyone's thoughts and opinions. But based off of what I just read for what they cited there, There's nothing there that I don't understand how that would fall under Brady. The internal affairs people are the ones who turned over Brady material regarding an officer involved in this case. Yeah, but that was for ISP people, Amethyst. Yes, she did want the training for the 3 officers. This is filed way back in March 24th, I believe, 2023. It's 2 days after Bethany's, the declaration of Batante. Or, I'm sorry, when they issued the subpoena, I think it was, for Bethany, March 22nd, right? Let me go look at my records here. Pretty sure. Let me see here. Is it under Batante? Probably is. Yeah, Batante. Let me go look here real quick. Make sure I have the right thing. When was this filed? I think it says 322. Hang on 1 second. Sorry, friends. Da, 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 da. I know the date's on here. Yeah, March 22nd, 2023. So the Brady disclosure was filed 2 days after the, I'll share this, hang on, just so everybody can see the date themselves. Is it not going to let me share it? Hang on. Yeah, it's not going to let me share it because of the way I have it. Hang on, I got to bring it up. Anyways, yeah, anybody can go find it for themselves. Okay, Richard Batante's declaration is 322, right? So 324, we have the state filing notice of Brady disclosure, and they're citing Idaho Code 74-1061 personnel records, right? That these are confidential, they're exempt from public disclosure. But when you read through 74-1061, the only thing really in there that I could see that would fall under Brady would be disciplinary. I don't know. Not 100% sure. But what I do find interesting is that there was quite a few people who assumed that this all had to do with Stickergate, right? Gunderson, Stickergate. I'm not so sure that's what it had to do with because it came from internal affairs. And the whole Stickergate thing was over when this crime occurred, right? So when this crime occurred 11/13/2022, your whole Stickergate Gunderson thing and all of that was kind of done for the most part, right? I could be wrong. I didn't really follow that case. I'm sure Fitzy knows all about it, but it's my understanding that was all over by then. So that just tells me internal affairs is already investigating another officer, MPD. There's someone from MPD who is already being investigated when this crime occurred by internal affairs. I don't know who that is. I could take some guesses. But another thing I thought was really interesting is that when you think about it, let me see if I can bring it back up here because I was planning on having it all queued up so that we could just go right to it. But I didn't queue up the video, but I'm sure everybody remembers that when Detective Mallory was testifying this past hearing. Hi, Meg P. How are you, honey? Thanks for being here. What was I just saying? Massive Mallory. I found it very interesting that Mallory indicated that he was only privy to the conversations that Special Agent Balance was having with companies like Apple and Google, if I remember correctly. I think those are the two specific ones she was speaking to him about. And Mallory made the comment that even though he was privy to the conversations, it didn't have to do with what MPD was doing for their investigation. It was everything the FBI was doing for their stalking investigation. Right? And now we know it was not Brian doing the stalking. So that just makes me say to myself, okay, so then who was the FBI investigating for stalking if it wasn't Brian? Because these this went on long after Brian's arrest. Let's not forget. She got pain on record regarding one of the warrants being obtained in January, but not actually submitted till August. Right? And if I remember correctly, you guys are just getting a huge data dump of every single thing that I've been thinking about in my brain since I saw you last. So sorry. If you're not following along or you're not tracking, I'm probably not tracking either. Sometimes I don't make sense to myself, but it's just very interesting to me. You have the state saying in 2023, Internal Affairs was already investigating an officer when this crime occurred. Internal Affairs was already investigating an officer. The prosecution, received Brady material from that Internal Affairs investigation. And as we know, Brady material is material that is usually, in almost all circumstances, exculpatory to the defendant or would impeach the credibility of an officer. Right? And I really don't think it has anything to do with Gunderson and Stickergate. Okay? But now, I also don't think, well, see, that's what I thought, Eddie, right? Oh, okay, it sounds like what they were doing was conducting a stalking investigation against Brian because it would be federal. He crossed state lines, allegedly, to stalk, right? They knew very early on he didn't stalk anyone, is what I'm getting at here. All of the phone data, everything that the FBI did and received back, it didn't come back for Brian, is what I'm getting at here. Okay? Because if they're conducting a stalking investigation, a federal stalking investigation into Brian, all of their phone data is coming back showing he's not stalking. Everything is showing he is not stalking. Why is the FBI still investigating stalking? Okay? The FBI investigates stalking when it crosses state lines. That's how you're going to get the feds involved. So it would appear, in my very strong opinion, this is just my opinion and the thoughts in my brain, that the feds knew very early on he's not stalking, yet they're using his case to conduct a stalking investigation. This is after Internal Affairs has turned over Brady material regarding an officer that they were investigating who is involved in this case. Kane B, how you doing? Thanks for being here. Yay, Kane. Well, I just don't, I'm under the impression that the FBI stalking investigation was not for Brian. That's just my opinion. I'm probably dead wrong, and that's okay if I am. But something tells me that if Internal Affairs is already conducting an investigation into an officer before this crime even occurred, you already have an officer under investigation. The state has become aware March of the following year, 2 days after Bethany's exculpatory information is learned and documented for the record. You also have Brady material from Internal Affairs coming forward 2 days after Bethany, right? And then we have Elisa Masseth getting Mowry on record. Oh, well, I mean, I was privy to the conversation, but it had nothing to do with our investigation. It was what the FBI was doing for their stalking investigation. And I thought about it, and I said, that's interesting. So the Google warrant 1 is done by the feds. The feds are looking for the location of they're referencing the United States and government and the location of a single decedent. And according to Mowry, they're doing all of this for their federal stalking investigation. Okay. So if the feds know he's not stalking anybody, they already knew that. They knew he wasn't stalking. Well, at least not stalking any of these victims, right? From what we can gather, he wasn't stalking any of these victims in this house or either of the survivors. There's no connection to anyone in this house. So my question is, who did the feds think he was stalking if their investigation was for him? Because it's very clear they did not think he was stalking these victims. But they were using his Google to determine the location of a single decedent. And they're referencing the United States and government. Eddie, I hope this is clicking for you. I figured you're going to get it. So I guess my question is, if Brian wasn't the one doing any stalking, then who was? They clearly thought someone was stalking, and they knew it wasn't him. They knew it wasn't him. So I don't know. Part of me thinks that if there was some kind of federal stalking investigation going on, so the way I look at it is, if you're the feds, you're doing all of this stuff behind the scenes, you have access to all this information and obtaining warrants, but you're hiding behind the MPD's investigation to do it, right? You find nothing. You do all of this only to find that you don't have anything, right? Because if it's clear he wasn't stalking, Bill says he wasn't stalking, yet they're still looking for the location of a single decedent in his Google. Know what I mean? So something is going on, clearly. I have no idea, Shannon. I'm just asking questions. I'm not sure. I have no idea whether or not an officer was involved in stalking. I just know that because of an ongoing internal affairs investigation that was occurring prior to these homicides, there is already an officer that was under investigation for Moscow Police Department by internal affairs before this crime occurred. And the feds immediately swept in and started doing a lot of things in the background, including bringing in BAU agents from Quantico. So that's very interesting. And I thought it was interesting too that in that last hearing, so Mowry saying that, everything that was going on is because that's what the feds were doing for their stalking investigation, right? But then Masseth, she also makes it a point to get Payne on the record twice as to whether or not he entered the Koberger's parents' neighborhood prior to SWAT arriving. And he said no twice. And she made sure to get it on record. You never went in. You never went into the neighborhood prior. And he's saying no. So, just because the way that my brain works and I just have all these thoughts in my brain, it's just very interesting to me that the feds are conducting this stalking investigation in the background. It would appear what they're looking for, they can't find because Brian's not the stalker. Yet, they're aware of a stalker, and they're aware that Internal Affairs was investigating an officer prior to this crime. So that's super, super interesting. No, I was hoping AR would be in here still, and maybe, can give us a little insight onto when it comes to internal affairs investigations. And when you have internal affairs turning over Brady material, it's a little bit different than how it would normally come in. But I don't know. Someone was being stalked, in my opinion, even though they're claiming no one was being stalked. I guess is the gist of it. It would appear here that the FBI was very aware someone was being stalked here. And it wasn't Brian doing the stalking. They learned that very early. Hey, Victorine, how you doing? So that just makes my brain say, well, then who the fuck was doing the stalking? And why are they saying there was no stalking? When clearly someone was being stalked. And for whatever reason, they're using his Google to say, well, the United States and government and the location of a single decedent. So that's interesting. So for their stalking investigation, they needed to know something regarding United States and government and the location of a single decedent. So who the fuck is that? Anyone? Who's the location of a single decedent? Who's the single decedent? If it's not one of the victims, because he wasn't stalking any of them. And no, it has nothing to do with Dana Smithers before someone fucking pops into my chat with that bullshit again. It's very interesting when you think about it. And then it also makes me wonder, too, with the Brady disclosure coming from Internal Affairs, would that also be presented via Franks? Since the information obtained from Internal Affairs that's considered Brady material is also exempt from public disclosure. Mikey S., how you doing? How are you? How you doing? Thanks for being here. Clifton Mayo, how you doing? I don't know. I'm just saying. Moto Man X, how are you? How you doing? Thanks for being here. Sorry, let me get over to comments. I was spinning in my chair with my brain thinking, and I was just talking out loud. I'm sorry, I wasn't even watching chat. Let me go look. Oh, that's what I thought too, yeah. So quite a few people automatically go right to Kopaka. So did I, yeah. And I don't want it to turn into a besmirching of Kopaka because, you know, I personally don't believe he deserves to be besmirched until something would be presented. But, you know, for all intents and purposes, from everything that we know, allegedly he was a great person who maybe just had some problems. So I'm not going to even try and insinuate that, oh my God, he's the one who did it and that's how he's tied to Brian. But I can see why people would think the two of them may know each other, right? Or may be connected in some way or whatever. I completely get it. But exactly. Right, Amanda. Right. I consider Kopaka at this point a victim as well. But I'm also not emotionally attached to victims like some other people are. So I can think of it just in an open, you know, very linear, no emotional attachment, right? So in my mind, the way I look at it is like everyone is a suspect, right? That's how I would conduct an investigation. No emotions whatsoever. Everyone is a suspect until they're not, right? Till you can prove they're not. But no, it's very interesting that they're in his Google referencing not only the United States, but government and the location of a single decedent. And they're doing it per their federal stalking investigation. You understand? So, you know, my brain says, holy shit, Brady material that came from Internal Affairs 2 days after Richard Batonti files his declaration regarding Bethany's exculpatory statements to police. Then the different testimonies of Mowry and Payne regarding the FBI. Then we find out from Mowry at this latest hearing, a lot of what the FBI was doing was for a federal stalking investigation. They knew it wasn't him stalking. That's what I thought too, Becky. So I thought the same thing. I was talking to Lana about it. I said, well, we got one of two things happening here, right? If he wasn't doing the stalking, someone else was. And they were investigating that person. Remember Elisa Massett said that are they pursuing the alternative suspects and hiding behind Brian's case to do it? Right? That was one of the comments that she made to Judge before the case got moved. And then I said, well, holy shit, are we sure he wasn't being stalked? Right? If they're conducting the stalking investigation, but they know it wasn't him doing the fucking stalking, well, that says to me, holy shit, either he's being stalked or someone else was the stalker, right? But then that still wouldn't connect the why do they believe if they're conducting a stalking investigation, why do they believe referencing the United States and government and the location of a single decedent is going to be in his fucking Google. Okay. And I have yet for anybody, and I have been asking this question for months since the document came out, and I haven't had one single know-it-all come into my comments yet to tell me, oh, well, it's so easy. This is why they're looking for the location of a single decedent in his Google. Oh, well, Annie. You dumb bitch. This is why. I haven't had that yet, and I've been waiting for it. I've been waiting for someone to come in and tell me exactly why I'm dumb and why it's perfectly normal for that language to be included. It hasn't happened yet. And I want it to. I want someone who knows more about cell phone records and Google being used to find the location of a single decedent. I want someone who knows more than Cy, because there's plenty of people on YouTube right now who claim they know more. I need them to come and tell me. I'll drop the link. Go find them. I'm sure they're in a fucking Discord somewhere, right? Go tell them that I need questions answered. I need a little hacker tech geek, someone who knows all this, to come and tell me exactly why, if the feds are conducting a federal stalking investigation and they know it's not Brian who's the stalker, why are they digging in his Google, referencing the United States and government and the location of a single decedent? I need someone to come and tell me. Yeah, well, that's what I mean, Mr. Sentinel. Me too. I've asked. I've looked it up. I've tried to figure out exactly how, right? Yeah, I don't have 4chan, darling. I don't have none of that stuff. Treetop, you. Hi, how are you? Oh, so good to see you. Hoppy Master, how you doing? Thanks for being here. I was hoping to see Mercy Cat. Mercy Cat, love you if you're listening. So yeah, anyone, Hoppy Master, Mikey S, Clifton Mayo. No, Clifton, yes, darling. Am I saying that's what they found in his Google? No, I'm not saying that's what they found. I have no idea what they found. But I can tell you that Google Warrant 1 references the United States and government, and law enforcement is requesting that those at Google search through to retrieve the phone information, i.e. location of a single decedent. And they used Google Warrant 1 to request that information. And then when the return for that came back, they submitted Google Warrant 2 and Google Warrant 3, but they removed that language referencing the United States and government and the location of a single decedent. So we have 3 Google warrants. The first one includes all the weird language, and then they removed that language for Google Warrant 2 and Google Warrant 3. Mama 5, how you doing? Thanks for being here. So, like I said, maybe I'm just a dumbass. Totally fine. I have no problem with it. That's fine. I'm never claimed to be the smartest person on the interwebs. I'm hoping there's someone smarter than me who could come and just maybe I'll drop the link and you can explain to me how someone's Google would give law enforcement the location of a single decedent. How a suspect's Google account would give law enforcement phone information and location of someone else. that is a single decedent. Knock, knock. Yeah, right. Danger. Exactly. Knock, knock. Anyone? You know, Bueller, like dead ass. I just need someone to come explain it to me because I don't understand. Beep, beep. So, yeah, it is the weirdest case, right? And then it doesn't help that they seal some things, but then unseal some. And, it's very strange. But maybe the Google search, no, because they're saying they were literally looking. I'm going to bring it up so we can just all look at it together and look at the language because the language is very weird. Google warrant 1. Google. Give me 1 second. I'll find it. Google warrant 1. Somewhere. Google. Is that it? Yeah. All right. Hang on. We're going to share this. Let me close that real quick and I'll share this. We're going to read this together again so that we're all on the same page. Oh, let me get back over here real quick. What does that say? Decedents have rights that continue after their death and the authority to take certain actions, make certain decisions through third-party representatives. Okay, Moto Man X. Well, thank you. But how does that still doesn't answer my question as to why, if they knew it wasn't him doing the stalking, why would they think that his Google would have any references to the United States and government and the location of a single decedent? And I'll share this so that we can all see what I mean here. Make this big. Oopsie, might be too big. All right. Let's hide that for a minute. Take that away. Everybody can see this good, hopefully. Okay. Let's get over here. I'm going to start reading. Oh, I got to make this a little bit smaller, though, for me. Hopefully you guys can still see it. Now, this was submitted 11/14/2024. So this is at the end of this past year in the motions to suppress by the defense. So this is for the Google warrants. We have a Google warrant 1, which was dated January 3rd, 2023. They did another one for January 24th, 2023, and then another one a month later, February 24th, 2023. Okay, so we don't need to read all this bullshit, right? Suppressing all data found by law enforcement from its Google search, blah, blah, blah. Now, I understand what she's saying. Yeah, it's fucking blanket warrants. I get it. That's not the point of this. Okay, so we're going to get down to where the language is. Facts. Pennsylvania law enforcement, along with officers from Idaho and the FBI, arrested Mr. Kohberger on December 30th, 2022. Subsequent to Mr. Kohberger's arrest, many warrants were executed. Just keep in mind, prior to his arrest, December 30th, 2022, the FBI at this point already knows he's not the stalker. You guys understand that, right? Hopefully everybody's tracking here. Based on everything that we now know of the testimony of these detectives and the lead case agents in this case. FBI was doing everything. So they already knew. Even when he was arrested, he's not the stalker yet. On January 3rd, 2023, Moscow Police Detective Mowry began work on Google warrants. He obtained Google Warrant 1 on January 3rd, 2023, a search warrant for all data available in connection with the email Brian Christopher 1994 at Gmail plus 2 phone numbers and an IMEI number, Exhibit A. On January 25th, Mowry obtained a Google Warrant 2 search warrant for all data available in the Google account in connection with this one. Exhibit B. No specific nexus is mentioned in the second warrant for the new email account other than it was identified. So this is everything, Mass Authority asked him to go over. So they don't know how they got any of they don't know where they came up with this email. They don't know how they got this username email spelled weird, okay? They can't tell you how they did that, okay? Let's make sure we all understand that. They have no nexus as to how this email account is identified, right? Now, then it goes into details, blah, 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 blah. We're going to get to the good stuff, okay? Here we go. The information in the warrants was cut and pasted from an affidavit originally bearing the signature of Moscow Police Department Sergeant Blaker, at other times Corporal Payne, and now Mowry. You understand? The information in the warrants was cut and pasted from an affidavit originally bearing the signature of Sergeant Blaker. So the original affidavit is Blaker's affidavit that Don Daniels submitted. The one where Blaker's saying, no, don't ignore this DNA. Forget about it. Forget about it. Doesn't exist, right? Just forget about it. It might be exculpatory, so don't pay attention to it. That's what Blaker said. Then at other times, Corporal Payne and now Mowry. The Google specific information in Google Warrant 1 referenced the United States and government, as well as the search of a phone for a single decedent, i.e., looking for the location of decedent, indicating it was cut and pasted without edits. Okay? So they're saying up here 2 phones are referenced. 2 phones plus 2 phone numbers and 1 IMEI number, correct? So they're looking in this Google account of Brian Christopher 1994 at Gmail plus 2 phone numbers with 1 IMEI number. Okay. But they're using his Google. They're saying in their first Google warrant, they are referencing the United States and government, as well as the search of a phone for single decedent, i.e., looking for the location of a decedent. And this was copied and pasted without edits. Max Smith, how you doing? Thanks for being here. They are the copy and paste twins, honey. Oh, well, thanks, Hoppy. Hi, animals are angels. Susan, how you doing, darling? Thank you for being here. So, I mean, these are just the crazy thoughts in my brain that when I think about, okay, so at this point, they already know he's not the stalker, okay? Yet, according to Mowry, they were doing all of this per their stalking investigation. He was only privy to these conversations and things like this, right? So exactly why in Google Warrant 1, I'm gonna hammer this shit until someone answers me. That's what I thought too, Angel. I mean, I don't know. I figured it has to do with another case. Figured it. Nah, Jack. Thanks for being here, but I disagree with you. I've been through that thing. It doesn't have anything interesting. Most of it's wrong. Didn't even have the right phone numbers or emails or anything. But I appreciate you being here. Hi, Kylan. How you doing? Yeah. Well, see, that's what I mean, Meanie, right? They're claiming in this Google Warrant 1 on January 3rd that the information used for Google Warrant 1 was cut and pasted from an affidavit that came from Blaker. Okay. It references United States and government, as well as the search of a phone for single decedent, i.e., looking for the location of a decedent. If Brian has absolutely no fucking connection to any of these victims, why would the FBI think his Google is going to lead them to the location of a decedent? That also is tied to the United States and government. What decedent is tied to the United States and government that they believe would be in his Google? Tonka, how you doing? Exactly, Danger. Even better question, right? How does one lose the location of a decedent? I don't know. This is what I'm saying. It's very, very interesting because there was a part of me that was like, holy shit, did somebody get out of there alive and then die later? Did he like go pick somebody up who was alive? But no, because the shit would have been all over his car, you know? It's just the things that goes through my brain, right? Like, holy shit, location of a single decedent. Like, did somebody get away alive and then died later? I don't fucking know. You know what I mean? It was just really weird. AirTag, maybe. I don't. That's Apple though. Too fast for fleas. Good idea. But that's Apple. This is for Google. I don't think is Google. And I don't know. I don't have Apple. All my shit's Android. But is Apple tied to Google or no? I have no idea. Couldn't fucking tell you. I need soup. I've been sick. My brain's just kind of been. Well, right. And then you have an exactly meanie, right, saying that no real investigation even occurred. There was no investigation. It wasn't even, you can use Google. Okay. With an Apple. Okay. I have no idea. I don't use Apple. Yeah. I know, Yvonne. Well, that's what I mean. But yeah, Apple and Google are different companies, but you can, I don't know. I don't use Apple products, so I have no idea if it all syncs the way that like it does for me with my Android for Google. Do you get what I'm saying? Like everything is automatically synced, linked, whatever you want to call it, just because I have it all set up that way for both my devices. So that's why I'm saying. So they're referencing two phones. I, as someone who have two devices, and both of my devices are synced to each other. The reason for that is because one is mine, one is my minor daughter's, teenager, but I like to monitor everything. So everything she does on her phone is through me. It's all of my stuff. I get notified anytime she does anything. So for parents out there who understand what I'm talking about, when you have more than one device, you can sync both of your devices together so that our Google calendars go together, our Google Drive go together. I can access anything in her drive anytime I need to. Do you get where I'm going with this? Okay. We have also a Google Drive warrant where the USB was returned. It was returned to Brett Payne. The contents of the Google Drive. It had like 5 redacted names on it, but 1 IMEI. Anybody remember all that when I droned on about that because my brain just gets stuck on shit, right? So now we have another thing here with Google. Halls, how you doing? Hi, Jacqueline. How you doing, Joanne? So I just look at it in the sense where I have 2 phones and I know that all of my stuff is synced so that my daughter's accounts are synced with mine. I can get into her drive anytime I need to. We can share docs with each other in Google Docs. I can see her work that she submitted in Google Docs for school. Do you get what I'm saying? So his Google warrant 1 is referencing 2 phone numbers. They're claiming it's 2 phones with 1 IMEI. And then when it comes to the Google Drive, if I remember correctly, that was returned to Payne, downloaded to a USB. And if I remember correctly, it had like 5 redacted names on it, but also talks about 1 IMEI. So all of these redacted names for this 1 Google Drive and this 1 IMEI. But it was multiple devices with the 1 IMEI. Okay. I don't know if I'm making any sense here. I'm probably not, but accessing the network in that country. Okay. Google phone, the government may be able to track it. Oh, wait, I meant to click on this one. Sorry. Hang on. Motoman X. The IMEI, the number is used by the GSM network to identify valid devices, therefore can be used for stopping a stolen phone from accessing the network in that country. Okay. Yes, each device has its own IMEI. Thank you, Halls. I'm trying. I got soup going right now. Angel, I will have to look that up after. I'm going to write it down. Oh, well, thanks, Amy. Okay, you kind of you figure you get what I'm talking about here, right? It's just the whole thing is very, very interesting to me. Because when we see the Brady disclosure very early on, that Brady disclosure, it came from an internal affairs investigation of an officer who was already under investigation prior to this crime occurring. And then we have Mowry talking about, oh, well, yeah, the feds were doing their own stalking investigation. But we know Brian's not the stalker. Okay, so who's the fucking stalker? And then also, why are you referencing the United States and government and that you're using his Google? Okay? For the search of a phone for a single decedent, i.e., looking for the location of decedent. Wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. Something just hit me. Holy shit. I can turn on my fucking location when I'm looking, if I need to locate my daughter's phone. Just hit me. Right. Dual SIM. Yep. And it just hit me too. So, for example, because her phone is connected to me and it's all connected to my Google and all of our stuff is connected, I know for a fact that I can use my phone to search for the other phone. To search for the other phone's location. Interesting. So did they think that, here's my question, did they think that he used his Google to search for the other phone? They're referencing two phones. Did they think he used his Google to try to locate that second device? I know that, Amy. That's what I'm saying. If they knew that they could not connect him no matter what the FBI was doing in the background, why on January 3rd is Mowry here telling a court he needs this Google warrant 1, claiming that they believe his Google, right? They're referencing the United States and government, claiming his Google is going to show the search of a phone for a single decedent. I've been asking this question for the longest time, and maybe I just answered my own question, because now that I'm thinking about it, where I have two devices, both devices are connected together, I know I can search the location of that phone. I could turn it on right now and find my other device. I wonder if that's what they think he was doing, but that tells me that they think his other device was with a single decedent. And they think that he was using his find my other device, find my other phone. I could be wrong here. This is just me fucking spitballing as to why they would be looking for this in a Google warrant. Okay. It's just me spitballing. They know he had two devices. And if they thought that he used his find my phone shit through Google to find the second device, the other device, and that device is with a single decedent, who would that be? I mean, he has two. They're clearly saying he has two phones. Okay. They say it up here, right here. Mowry obtained Google Warrant 1, January 3rd. A search warrant for all data available in a Google account in a Google account in connection with the email Brian Christopher 1994 at Gmail, plus two phone numbers and an IMEI number. Two phones. Two phones. So the Google specific information in Google Warrant 1 is referencing two phones, the United States and government, as well as the search of a phone for single decedent, i.e. looking for the location of a decedent. So the more I think about this, this makes me think that that second phone, did they think that he tried to locate that second device? But then that would mean it's tied to a decedent. And they're saying it as it's definitely, according to his defense, it is not any of these victims. I don't know who that decedent would be. It is very confusing language, yes. And that's why I'm saying, maybe, like, I'm no lawyer. I'm not claiming to be the smartest person at all. I'm just asking questions. These are things that sit in my brain and marinate. And I'm like, okay, this is very, very interesting. Susie Q, how you doing? Thanks for being here. Annie Ruler, how you doing? I don't know. It's just, I don't know, Tonka. One phone was registered in PA, other was his work phone. Okay, but that still doesn't explain how either of his devices are going to produce a record regarding the location of a single decedent. Okay. That's the thing that's bugging me. It's bugging me big time. Because now that we know Brady disclosure came from internal affairs, we know an officer was already being investigated by internal affairs at Moscow Police Department prior to the crime occurring. Well, technically, I guess it could be not just Moscow PD. I guess it could be ISP too, right? Just said officer involved in the case. We don't really know for sure if it's MPD. I guess it could be ISP. It is bizarre, right, Danger? It's very bizarre. You know? They aren't going to produce anything about a decedent. It was copied from something that had nothing to do with BK. Okay. Copied from what, though, that had nothing to do with BK? Twiz. What do you mean, darling? I understand what you mean. They copied and pasted it from Blaker's affidavit. But if we go look at Blaker's affidavit, nowhere in Blaker's affidavit does Blaker say anything about a decedent, does he? I don't think so. Yeah, I don't know. That's what I mean, Meanie. Right. That's what I'm saying. I don't know. That's Jacqueline. I have no idea if that's what he meant. Yeah, I'm not sure. Okay, but even still, I'm trying to figure out where in Blaker's affidavit there's any mention of the United States government or the location of a single decedent. Right. There you go. Amethyst. Right. If it was copied from an FBI warrant, right? The done one. How you doing? The warrant for one of the victim's Google accounts. Could be. They used a template, right? Yeah, somewhere other than Blaker's affidavit. Well, I don't know. Like I said, friends, you guys know I don't know shit. I just ask questions and I tell you all of the things that are going through my brain, and that's it. It's just my opinion. It's very interesting because they put in 2 more Google warrants and they removed the language. Right. Okay, so maybe they realized they fucked up. They shouldn't have included that. They're referencing 2 phones. Even still. Yeah, I know, Twiz, right? The reason you're confused is because it's not supposed. I know. What I'm saying, though, is that even if you take all this out, oopsie poopsie, we didn't mean to copy and paste this. Oopsie, our bad. They're still referencing 2 phones. They're claiming he's searching for one of those phones. They're claiming his Google is going to show him somehow, allegedly, searching for the phone. Now, if it was Blaker's warrant for another, I don't what other case? What other case is Blaker filing a Google warrant for where he's like looking for other phones and the location of a single decedent? I just don't get it. You know what I mean? Anyways, I don't know. Just me asking questions and chit-chatting with you guys. I know it's been a while since I went live. But yeah, so that's also why I titled the live Brady, Uncle Frank, and an FBI stalking investigation. Well, because it would appear when it comes to Brady, people have forgotten that the only reason Brady was disclosed in this case, any Brady material, is because it came from an internal affairs investigation that was already occurring on an officer in this case prior to the homicides. So that's where Brady comes from. Uncle Frank, I think we're probably going to get a visit from Uncle Frank. I'm wondering if the Brady material is going to be included in Frank's. Not sure. And when it comes to this FBI stalking investigation, it's clear Brian wasn't the stalker. So I'm not exactly sure who they thought the stalker was, but we all know it wasn't Brian. So anyways, wanted to keep this short and sweet. Hopefully, the data dump of my brain made sense. And if it didn't, I'm so sorry. But I just wanted to come and share my thoughts and show you guys a few things. And if you're looking for the Brady disclosure, the original filing, I will put it in the comment section of the video and I'll pin it. That way everybody can have it. You can print it off, frame it, laminate it, do whatever you want with it. And yeah, we'll see you back soon. Soon as we get some really good docs or we get a, order for Frank's or anything like that, I'll probably, come live if we get good stuff. But I've only seen a couple things. They're pretty short, pretty sweet. And I didn't feel like I need to do a whole live on it. But yeah, I hope you guys have an awesome week. I'm going to go have my soup and take my medicine and go to bed. And yeah, catch you in the comments. Tell me what you think in the comments too. Come interact, come say hi and tell me what you think. And catch y'all on the flip side. That's right, beep, beep. That's right, Angel D, beep, beep. All right, I'm out of here. You guys have an awesome night. Eddie, thank you as always for being here. Thanks, Danger. Yeah, I'm going to try to feel better. Thanks, Amy, Ro, Mods, Twiz, Kane, all of you. Thank you so very much. You guys are awesome. Hoffy Master, Jeff. Thanks for being here. Mish Girl, Angel D, Danger, everybody, every single one of you. I'm not going to go through all of you, but every single one of you. Let me scroll. Nothing half-assed. How you doing? Hope you guys have an awesome night. Victorine, good night. Thank you. Could be Angel. All right, take care. Bye.